Last time on the Sparky Does Things YouTube channel. Prior to the major suffering that was Super Fancy Pants Adventure without pressing left or right, Carbon took on the daunting challenge of 100%ing the Roblox Hatch event because he has severe FOMO. Also because he's a complete and utter loser. 2 months later, while the iron was ice cold, Roblox decided to come back with the horrific news that he immediately shared to everyone on his YouTube community tab. To all 3/4 of them. Roblox had striked him with a new Roblox event, and the prior video on said event did so well that he thought it would be the greatest idea to come back and cover Roblox's newest and greatest event yet. That's just not a true statement at all. But will he truly enjoy the event? Will he hate it like the Hatch? Does he suck at playing Forsaken? And finally, will the other video come out and be normal for once without anything actually happening to interrupt it? Well, all of those questions will be answered right now. It's very complicated. It's way better than the Hatch by like a few thousand miles. Yes, I do suck at playing Forsaken. 9 days, by the way. And finally, it depends. I might have a lot to say about what's coming up. Okay, but with that intro out of the way, I just wanted to say it would mean a lot if all of you guys can just kind of hold your tongue about the schlep situation. I know it's ongoing, and I'm just frankly so fucking tired of hearing it from the same Roblox content forums, milking it over and over and over again. The millisecond Roblox drops a new response. Quamgo! Sorry. I had something in my throat. But please keep your video comments related to the event rather than Roblox's shitty business practices. Thank you so much. Anyways, standard explanation stuff. Hopefully this won't take too long. I won't go over any Roblox history like last time. But I will say, Roblox is a game released in 2006 and has been the biggest it's ever been. Millions of concurrent players shattering world records for games that suck complete fucking ass. This will be my next video, just you wait. But Roblox had these things called events, which gives you loads of free items. Cool! They were removed in 2020. Boo! They came back last year and have been a varying degree of quality. By far, the best being the Mega Hunt, which was really a breath of fresh air for the modern era, and the most recent being the worst, the Hatch, which was just very poorly managed. I have an entire video about that if you want to watch that. Very shameless plug, I know. Was that good? Great. If you want a more explained history about modern Roblox events, I would recommend looking at the aforementioned Hatch video for a longer explanation because I mainly want to get into the event because I have a lot more footage and a lot more complex thoughts. But obviously, standard YouTube thing, please like and subscribe. Any support means a lot to me, and the more interactive my community, the better. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, I plan on making a Q&A of sorts, so whenever that happens, just check for the community post/video about it, and maybe drop a question or two. There are 2 main videos I have planned for the coming weeks. That being another Roblox video, which had to be put off because of this video, because I got really hyper-fixated on Forsaken and have a decent title to go along with it. The video is not mainly about Forsaken, though. Just wait. And also, just another video, just kind of to get to know me, like the creator of the videos and stuff. It's like, what is Sparky Does Things? Whatever. So be prepared for that. Okay, I'm done. Let's get to the real elephant in the room. I've yapped enough. The Takeover. This event dropped out of complete fucking nowhere, and when I saw it on my Roblox browse page, I screamed in anguish. Literally. Okay, so the event lobby, I feel like that's a great way to start this whole event, and well, it's actually like really good. That's to be expected, but also Twin Atlas does it again by making a very engaging hub world. I would argue this is the best hub world since the Classic. Although, I'm very biased. I love the Classic. Nothing tops it in my opinion. But this one definitely is really good. It's essentially its own mini skating game, and honestly, if there was one positive thing I'd have to say about the event, my first thought would immediately go to the hub world. I am absolutely not mixed on this. I think it's top tier, and if the event was just here, I would be so happy because the skating mechanics work so well. When you get used to them, that is. But yeah, it's a relatively simple skating game, and it's good for that. But let's talk about the main things. The objectives, the currency, the game separation, and finally, the items. This will also delve into my main criticisms with the event as a whole, because they are heavily related to, well, the objectives and currency, because they go hand in hand. Objectives is the main thing to do around the lobby, and to boil it down, grind rails, do a very specific thing, which will reward you with one of two currencies. Solo creds, which are essentially the main event currency. Solo creds can be gained by just playing quests from games that partake in the event, and also by doing miscellaneous objectives in the hub world. Like completing quests in general that are in the games, whatever. The other currency is, in my opinion, what has me so mixed on the event as a whole. Allow me to go on a bit of a tangent. This will hopefully relate back to what I'm talking about. Roblox events that lock items behind groups of people / clubs are always doomed, and I hate when they do it. Why is this a big issue? You might be thinking. Well, dear friend, allow me to tell you. There are going to be groups with a full house of people that all are active, which makes it nearly impossible for you and your group to make any headway. This is also not mentioning YouTube groups that have a bunch of people in it because they are famous and want the items. Not to mention, one of the gimmicks for the event is for crews that hold certain areas, like some sort of King of the Hill. But that's pretty hard to be at the top of when there are going to be obvious groups that are way more active than you could ever be. So it just makes the idea doomed to always fail for people like me who had no luck into getting any crews until later on, and I'm just locked away from ever getting those items. This brings us to the second currency, crew creds. A lot of those crew creds are locked behind being in this King of the Hill. Roblox mishandled this idea heavily, and I can't even think of how they would even fix it because it's just a flawed concept and just kind of bad. I would have gotten rid of the King of the Hill feature as a whole, or even just get rid of the whole crew credits thing, because by the end of the event, I have over 600 solo credits. This whole issue with getting crew creds could be solved if they just made it so you can trade between the two currencies, just so there's no worry about gaining them. This is what makes the event so mixed to me and why I'm finding it so hard to word this. It wasn't relatively thought out, and I'm not even sure how they would even fix it, as I said. But that's the currencies. The solo creds are overabundant and easy to get, and the crew creds are unnecessarily annoying to get because of Roblox's poor event design philosophy. Now on to game separation. Nothing much to say here, besides the games are split up into 4 main areas: Adrenaline Heights, Strat University, Artist Alley, and finally, Competition Park. I like to think that the games were separated based on what you do in them, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I want to give Roblox that much credit. And finally, the items. They're actually all quite good, as a matter of fact. Like, overall, I think I like these items a lot more than the other events. I also think it's insane the amount of items that are obtainable. Even if you don't do all of it, there are over 50 items, including the Bling Pack, which is honestly really good, and I'm glad to see a high item count again. But if you're just doing it for free, there are around 25 to 30 items that are obtainable normally. So, if there's a second positive about the event, it's totally the items. But I'm sure all of you have been waiting for me to talk about the obvious. How do the games hold up? Well, that depends. What are you doing in each game? Because they're separated into 4 differing quests. The Noob line, the Pro line, the Master line, and finally, the Extreme line. Obviously, difficulty correlates to the amount of credits you get. And in full honesty, this specific way that the event is organized is so good, actually. Genuinely, this might be my favorite part. I know I've been saying that a lot, like just mentioning, oh, this is a positive thing about the event, but I love this event structure for sure. It's very lenient. You get double points for first completion, which means you can end up getting like 50 creds per fully completed quest line. The quests are replayable, so if you end up finding an easy extreme quest, you can keep grinding that one if you're starving for creds, which won't happen. But you don't have to go that far. You can just complete the new quests and get all the creds like that. They made it super easy to approach, in my opinion, for first timers. And it's easy to rack up creds for experts if you can do it faster by completing the harder quests. Overall, I have to commend Roblox for, by far, making the best structure of any Roblox event, except maybe the Mega Hunt. Okay, that's enough apping. Let's get into, like, the actual games. This took fucking forever.
I got this!
You're no fun!
You will pay.
I got this! Help me!
This is gonna take a while, so buckle up. The first game I hopped into was a simple one. Mining simulator, and it was, like, fine, I guess. It allowed me to get used to the aforementioned structure, but overall was a pretty good experience. I didn't fully complete it. The game has a glaring flaw. It doesn't tell you how to do shit, so without a guide, you're going to be scraping at your head hard, trying to figure out what the fuck to do with the Master Quest. But that doesn't make the game bad, of course, just not terribly great. The next game I played was little known game. You might have heard of it. Oh, it's Barry's Prison Run. Yep. Barry's bitch-ass, bum-ass, goofy-ass fucking prison run. This game... Oh, this fucking game. Well, I'm sure some of you saw my community post. I actually liked the game's event. The first two quests were but the last two are speedrun quests, and honestly, I have no complaints as someone who loves speedrunning games. I was able to relatively easily get them. Even the extreme quest was no issue. In fact, if I were to upload my run to speedrun.com, I would be in top 100, which is really fucking funny. They made a pretty fun event game, and again, I have no complaints for Prison Where Thou Must Run from Barry. Okay, talking about them in order is getting boring, and also I kind of forgot what order I played them in. So let's go at my own leisure, yay! Tower of Hell was not fun. I don't care if it's a rage game, when they flat out didn't accept when I completed the quest for some reason, so I effectively had to do everything twice. This game is buns. Doors was an interesting game because it was like a speedrun mode in a way, but also kind of like Mario Kart, kind of, not really. But essentially you get thrown into a map with 8 people and you have to race to the end or die trying. The event is relatively simple, the hardest ones being gaining kills just because of how jank the game can be with items. But overall, the event was well designed and fun to play for the short time that I played it, even if I did kind of cheap having my friends around to do some of the quests with me. Back to mid. Dig the Backyard, frankly, I didn't even register that I played the game. I just mindlessly was going through the motions until I dug a hole that I couldn't get out of, so I reset and the game told me to go fuck myself, and that it was permadeath. So, that sucks. I completed 3 out of the 4 quests and saw no reason to go further because the game is buns. Well, not really bad, just kind of boring and lacked real depth. I felt the same with Murderers and Sheriff's Duel, but at the same time I completed none of it because even when I completed the quest, it didn't count, so I just gave up. No point in trying again. Going back to digging, let's talk about Dig. It's just fish. How original. And if you know anything about me, then you know that I fucking hate fish because of the bum-ass Mega Hunt, so I didn't even bother trying it. But back to Dig. I gave up on the whole whack-a-mole mission because I was low-key just too lazy to attempt it. Oh, what's the next game again? I forgot.
Welcome back to my musical chairs Let's Play. Today we are going to be playing musical chairs, and I am going to be winning musical chairs so good it will shock you all.
I sounded like a leprechaun there, what the fuck? At first, I thought this game was the musical chairs of last event with the cool-ass boss fight, and this told me it wasn't.
So I kind of rushed through the first 2 quests before the master quest came up, and I realized,
You're no fun.
oh boy, it's the boss again! The hatch boss comes back from last event with a new blue color, and the boss is good. They introduced some new, stronger charge abilities for both weapons, and yeah, I had fun. And then the second phase, with whatever the hell this is. I really like it. I don't know what else to say. The Musical Chairs developers definitely did a good job at making these, and I'm glad that they were invited to the event. That doesn't make the boss fight perfect, of course. I feel like the design of the actual area that you are fighting in is a little weird, especially the pits that are in Phase 2. Also, not to mention, it's quite difficult and ends up just being you constantly dying just to deal damage rather than actual skill in dodging. I think the nitpicks could easily be fixed if they decided to do the same during the next event, but with just some overall balance and some fine-tuning. But I think it's great either way. Please, Roblox, keep them in the next event. Okay, I'm just gonna rapid fire some of the other games that I played. A few good, a few bad. Dead Rails was fine for the most part. I like how you could just do all the quests in one game, and definitely made the run more engaging. Pixel Glade was pretty good. I love myself a little dungeon crawler, and this definitely provided me with such an experience. Also, I got the Star Blade in one of my runs, and it was so busted. It stuns enemies, deals 1,000 damage, hits 4 of them at the same time with the ability. So, it's crazy. I don't know what else to say. Might check out this game, given the time when I'm bored. I don't know. Dungeon Heroes was like a lesser Pixel Blade. Instead of enemy hordes, roguelike elements, and other junk, this game just had a plain old boss rush. Also, timed it. It didn't make the game particularly bad, just nothing special. Moving on. Savannah Life was really, really funny to me for no particular reason. I don't know, the battle mode is just weirdly designed. It's meh. Super Soccer League was soccer, and it's bland, and that's it. I didn't know where else to put this because I generally would write 2 paragraphs worth of it, but Untitled Boxing Game did its thing and made a super engaging event. Keep doing what you're doing, Untitled Boxing Game developers. You're clearly cracked at it. Playing crazy had awful controls, and I couldn't beat the noob challenge. Carrying an egg was too difficult for my monkey brain, so I couldn't beat the noob quest. Survival game told me nothing. That's it. Tower Defense Simulator was good, as usual, but I forgot about it, so I just never did all the quests. Build with Friends is an insufferable accuracy builder, so I built the duck and stopped after that. And finally, Natural Disaster Survival for the most part was good, just dragged on for a bit, but it was fine and harmless. Okay, now that I'm done with the lightning round, allow me to talk about the absolute best 3 and the absolute worst 3 that the event had to offer, in my personal opinion. Heavily subjective.
Man, what the fuck? I just got the dress coded at my school. I ain't to do shit. Look at me, my feet is fire. I ain't got shit on me. My balls aren't tangling out, so why get suspended?
I guess I'll start with the best, given I have less to say about them. Something Evil happened had a genuinely amazing minigame type thing, and I kind of wish it stuck around because it was really fun. This game I easily have the most footage of by far, and the concept is, well, fun. You essentially have to do normal natural disaster surviving, but with a twist, of course. The disasters are really difficult, but to balance them out, you can get items from vending machines and pick up hats that boost your stats. Like the Ninja Balloon Hat, which gives you an extra jump, which does stack with other ones, and the Head Row, which gives you 20 more HP. Among many other hats. By the end of it, you will be completely insane with the stuff you can handle. The first task is to collect 10 hats. Easy. Task 2, tag 25 spray paints, which is also easy. Task 3, which is relatively hard, just requires you to get to difficulty 8. And finally, Task 4 is to beat the boss, which I was never able to do because it's too tanky. But overall, I'd say this is my favorite game in the entire event. It blended the normal gameplay seamlessly with the new gimmicks, and I wish it stuck around because I would have absolutely still played it. Obviously, it's not perfect. The boss as a whole needs a nerf, and I'm not sure if it did get a nerf at all, but I really think that the tanky boss does bog it down a little. Also, some people can find the game a bit overwhelming. That doesn't really change how fun it is for me. I am lucky to have checked this game out while I had the chance. What's next? Okay, this one is way shorter. I'm just really biased. I really like the world's easiest game. That might be all I have to say, but humor me.
I have a major soft spot for simple games that have like 100,000 endings, and this game definitely suffices that niche. Before the event, I used to play this game for hours, just trying to get every single ending. The event adds a new world entirely, which has some fun endings to collect, and my personal favorite being it also adds a new, intense game mode, which just makes you, like, trip randomly and makes the game generally windy in random directions and changes directions, like, every 5 seconds or so. I just really like this game, okay? Now, let's talk about a game that, frankly, I fell in love with because it was in the event. I'm pretty sure this actually never happened before, where I fell in love with a game because it was in a Roblox event and continued to play it afterwards. But goddamn, Superstar Racers got me by the balls! You may have noticed I've been using music from this game because, dude, it has such a fire OST. Like, listen to my favorite part of Marble Mania, which is my favorite course in the game. Dude, I love this music. I'm going insane and frothing at the mouth. If there's one thing that you know about me, and it's pretty obvious, I love a good speed-based platformer, and this game definitely provides that experience. Before I start rambling about everything I love about this game, and what I have played of it, let me cut myself short here and just say, please check this game out for yourself. I could never do it justice in a short segment, and I don't want to make this video the takeover, and then Carbon rambles about Superstar Runners for like 15 minutes. So please check out the game. It's like a 3D pizza tower to me. All the quests are relatively straightforward. Just collect 75 gems, beat a race, speedrun 3 different challenges in the hub world, and finally complete a lap 2. It's great. But those are the good games. What's the bad ones?
He was putting you in the ass on the curb!
All right, calm down, both of you.
But with every action comes an equal and opposite reaction. This quote was said by Logan 30acre and is actually referring to bad Roblox event games. Here are my 3 least favorites, from worst to worstest. Okay, Slap Battles isn't at fault for being a train wreck for me. And specifically, they can't control the people that play the game. But this game is so low because my team always sucked. And I mean mostly sucked absolute dick. Essentially, it's a turf war Splatoon type thing, but you get a slap hand and it has a shitty ink gauge that takes forever to recharge. And 3 different classes. The Speedy class, which just makes you super fast with no special ability. The Paint Roller class, which makes it so you can roll paint on the ground, pretty obvious. And finally, the Bomber class, which is the best one, which I only found out later. The game is fine, but I always had terrible teammates, and I always ended up on, like, teams with, like, the worst people imaginable, or they were AFK. God fucking damn it. Also, spoiler alert, Green Team is always at a severe disadvantage because they spawn in the middle, which means they have no good spots that they can effectively cover from their spawn point. But also, I really have to say that it's like a fine game, but damn, the team elements seriously ruin it because it's so team reliant and there is nothing to ease the pain of bad teammates. Not the fault of the developers, but from personal experience, it was a complete drag getting through, and I did not like it at all. Number 2. Okay, this one is really dumb, but Golem Tycoon. Okay, it was going to be number 1 worst for the longest time, but I'll explain why before you see what's the worst. Golem Tycoon is a rare breed which only has 3 quests instead of the normal 4. The first quest takes 20 minutes, especially if you have no progress on the game like me. You have to kill 90 golems, nothing else to really say. The real problem is the next 2 quests.
Quest 2, what really started the downward spiral, and it's just by having you get 10 person kills on other players. Doesn't sound difficult, right? Just run to someone's base and jump them. You aren't allowed to do that because the game doesn't enable fucking friendly fire. Yes, a basic mechanic that should be enabled given the quest isn't fucking enabled for the goddamn quest. So you have to pray the person isn't AFK or hiding away in their base, or you just will not get the quest done. You will essentially be stuck on this one if you don't get really, really lucky on the server. It took me like 30 minutes to do this, by the way, and I had to reset my game because my fucking server was filled with AFK people. But that pales in comparison to Quest 3. I mean, it pales in comparison because the monotony of killing 90 golems goes up to 300, and you have to specifically kill 300 golems from other players. So you have to pray that you get a great server with people that are actually active and have good amount of golems in their base, or you are going to be on this one for hours. If 90 golems took me 20 minutes, would you really be surprised if it took me over an hour to kill 300 specific golems? I had to break into people's bases and farm golems for a long ass time just to reach 300. And sometimes when the kills wouldn't even count, I'd be killed by the golems, or I'd be killed by the player who is working with the golems. So this game, it turns out to be fucking boring as absolute hell and just trying to stay awake through. Genuinely, what in the world were the devs thinking? This is genuinely just a premium payouts farm, and I'm never getting my time back, and they get money for it. This is bullshit! Okay, but if that's bad, what could possibly be worse? It's AI-generated slop capybara evolution. Are we really fucking surprised? How is this worse than Golem Game? Well, at least Golem Game actually had some sort of progression. You were getting stronger and you had a stronger base. This game genuinely has 0 point of doing anything in the main game to level up and become more powerful. Here's the thing. A bad game can be shown through numerous factors. The story, the gameplay, the music, etc. But the worst sin a game can commit, in my personal opinion, is just to be a complete slog to go through and feel meaningless by the time you're finished. And that's what this game is. A slog to get through. The game does the cardinal sin of player scaling, which means no matter what level you are going to be dealing the same damage and you are going to be hit for the same percent of damage. This game, you will always die in 40-ish hits and only deal 10 damage to enemies. Each quest only ups the health that each enemy has, making it take longer and longer to kill, and you are not buffed to compensate for that. Of course, you can't just leave it AFK. No. You have to be somewhat engaged to make sure you don't fucking die. It's genuinely dreadful. And I hope that the developers are never brought back for any other events. They do not deserve any sort of credit, and there's no fucking positives to this game whatsoever. And when I say that you only deal 10 damage, I mean that because here's how the health works. I'm pretty sure I remember this. 500 health for the first part of the thing. And then it goes up to, I believe, 750 or 600. And then it goes up to 750 or 1000. That's 100 hits for the last one. You have to deal 100 hits per enemy. And, not to mention, other enemies will have higher HP pools compared to the basic ones. So, you're essentially just stuck here doing the same thing over and over again for like 40 minutes. The first quest only took me 18, and only 18. I can't believe that. And the next quest took me longer, and I'm pretty sure I haven't even finished that quest. God knows how long the last quest would have taken, even with a full party of 4 people, because you're still only going to be dealing 4 damage per tick. And that's still so many fucking hits. How did the game fumble the bag this hard? Progress doesn't matter to them, I guess. There's no point in progressing because you could just do it all on level 1. This game sucks. It's just flat out bad. I literally just improv'd half of that, like half of the script there, because
I can't express how fucking terrible this game is. But that's it. Those are all the games that I bothered playing. So allow me to go to the conclusion. It was the last few days of the Roblox event, and obviously there was items to like, oh, you did it, you completed, the event's pretty much over, just complete some amount of quests and you'll get an extra item. I was unfortunately not able to get this item, and yeah, that's pretty much how the event ended. It ended with little to no fanfare. The takeover turned out to be relatively forgettable in the grand scheme of things, despite it being relatively good. So, allow me to answer the main question I posed at the beginning of the video. Did I truly enjoy the event? As I said, it's very complicated, but if you wanted a solid answer, it is a resounding yes. As I said, the event has a lot of potential and definitely needed some fine-tuning, but that doesn't make it bad by any metric. Some games were amazing, even if they had to be cut down majorly for some of them. And even if it wasn't the greatest, I'll still hold it in high regard because of how truly good it was. Roblox definitely took some missteps when it came to creating the event, but I definitely had a great time. And even if it was just a retread of the Hunt First Edition, there's easily one thing I can say about it. It's miles better than the Hatch. And I don't think any event will be able to top how bad the Hatch was. Is it better than the Hatch? Yes. Yes, it is. And that will be all from me. Thanks for watching. And if you liked this video, like and subscribe, or if you didn't, comment saying why. Thank you all for any sort of support on this video. My name is Carbon. Roblox has a gun to my head. I'll be seeing you guys whenever I see you. Bye!
You're getting a raise!
Squidward.